For the past 7 days, I learned the basics of making 2D games in Unity, and now it's time to test my skills by remaking the very popular Flappy Bird. Or my version of it. Let's create a new project, and while this happens, I will tell you how I got here. You see, a couple of years ago, I opened Unity for the first time and followed what I saw in a tutorial. I made my first game ever, a basic 2D platformer. And it felt so good, I was hooked instantly. To follow up, I've made a clicker game for Android and even released it, but it flopped. And after that, I took a long break from game development. 1 year later, I picked up Unity again and made yet another game, trying to come up with a more original concept, but I stopped at some point during development and forgot about the project. And here I am today, trying to do things properly this time. I forgot how to use Unity, so for the past week all I've been doing was playing around with different concepts and learning how to make things happen in Unity. Okay, here we are with our empty canvas, ready to create. To make it harder for myself, I will aim to do it all in under 1 hour. It can't be that hard. Will I manage to do it? I don't know, let's find out. Let's start by changing the background and by adding a bird. Nice. Now let's make it fall, because gravity? Next, it needs to jump when I press the spacebar. For that, I will create a new script and write some voodoo code magic. What's next? Glad you asked. We need a ground for our bird to fall on. Whoops! I need to add collisions so that the bird actually hits the ground. But first, something ain't right about this bird. Let's make it look like an actual bird. Here, much better. And collisions? Amazing! When it hits the ground, it shouldn't be able to jump anymore. Okay, that works. But wait, did someone say pipes? Yeah! They should spawn at random different heights. Done. And make them move towards the bird to give the impression that the bird is moving towards them. Yeah. This works, but not as intended. So let's tweak this a bit. Add a zone between the pipes to detect when the bird passes through, and the pipes and the bird need to stop moving when they collide, plus a box at the top to prevent the bird from getting out of the screen, which is deadly too. And let's add some rotation to the bird when it collides to make it look derpier. Perfect. A score would be nice, to keep score. Here you have it. Okay, but this is just a pair of pipes. How about some more pipes? Pipe it up? Let's just start with 3 pairs of pipes. Then I'll create a rectangular zone, and when a pipe gets in this zone, it self-destructs and the new one spawns in its place, at the end of the pipe's queue. Okay, I spent some good time rewriting the code and trying to figure out why I can't get this to work. Just to realize that I forgot to add the 2D at the end of this function's name to detect collisions in the 2D space. Now everything should work fine. It doesn't. Okay, now it should. Yeah? No. Some coding later and it actually works. Finally. The score increases when the bird passes through this zone attached to each set of pipes. Now I should add some important mechanics such as restarting the game. But you know what? This game sounds kind of... well, it doesn't sound like anything. So let's create some custom sounds for our bird using this handy tool called SFXR. Wow! I also need to make a sound manager. And now, a sound plays when the bird jumps and when it hits an obstacle. Time to make the game replayable by adding a restart option. It will be easy. Help? Let's try one more time. Good, this looks good. Let's also add a short cooldown time before being able to restart the game. This seems to work. A button to start the game and some coding later, and now the game starts only when I press start, as it should. Plus, you can see the start button when the cooldown expires. I also added a slight rotation to the camera and grayed out the screen a bit when the bird dies to make it look better. Now all I have to do left is to track the high score and store it so that when you exit the game and open it later, you still have the same high score. And to finish it off, let's add a sound effect and a custom text when you get a new high score to tickle your dopamine sensors. Time to try all of this out. But to test that this works, I have to actually beat my current high score. So let's do that. Let's beat this game. Okay, I got to 21. Not bad. And the good news, everything works. This came out quite well. And it only took 4 hours. Yeah, forget about that 1 hour target. But even if I quite struggled, I managed to finish this project and learned quite a lot. If you think you can beat my score, don't even think about it. But in case you want to try it out, the game is on itch.io and you can play it on the link in the description. And if you manage to find bugs, tell me in the comments. But I'm sure there's none. Anyway, that's it. If you want to see me learn more game dev and do more silly projects, then detonate that subscribe button. Alright, see ya.